Good morning and welcome to the 101st podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. I hope you enjoyed last week's 100th. It only went on for about 16 minutes, so not too bad, but obviously could have gone on a lot longer, but you got a rough idea of some of my favourites obviously, but didn't have time to do them all. But onwards and upwards, so hopefully you can put some bits and pieces together this next 100 and get out to a few more people. So let's hope for that. So anyway, let's start from what turned up last week. There's only one thing turned up last week, which was this lovely landfall dinner from the Orion 1936, which was signed by the 1936 7 MCC team to Australia. It hasn't got Worthington or Leyland on there, but it has got H. Wade there, which is quite a rare signature for this tour because he only played a couple of matches as a replacement for Duckworth and Ames. Duckworth had broken his finger and Ames had a bad back, so he played a couple of games early on. But he went over there on his own accord for his health reasons and went out there on the ship. So it's nice to have a signature, which is quite a rare signature. Pleased with that little effort. So now behind me this week, first of all we'll do these bits on here, which is this lovely Jack Hobbs bust, which is 1925. E. Sheen in what have we got here? In aid of the Middlesex Hospital construction fund. So that's 1928. But this one's quite a rare one. It's got nicely painted bust on it. Nice cap there with pre-1905 cap on there. I've got this off of Jack Russell's shop in Chipping Sodbury. And he did tell me who painted it. It was a lady painter who painted it, quite famous. She's made a pretty good job of it, I've got to say. So quite pleased with that little bust, plaster bust of the master. And then to go with that, we've got Jack's Toby Jug there. Quite a nice Toby Jug where he's got his post 1905 cap on there, which actually I did have, but passed on unfortunately, but there we are. So this is signed on the bottom here, 733 of 5,000. Stanley James Taylor is the potter, designer. And what have we got? Royal Dalton, haven't we? Yeah, Royal Dalton. So there we are. That's quite a nice Jack Hobbs. A rare one of those sort of Toby Jug series. And then behind me here we have a nice photograph signed reasonably well by the 1954-55 team to Australia and New Zealand. So quite a nice picture there. And it's got a lovely little bow tie at the top there in the MCC colours. So I'm quite pleased with that. The glass unfortunately broke on it, but can't have it all, I suppose. Fell off the wall. There we are. I've got a feeling this was Dennis Compton's copy. This side here a little bit faded, but apart from that, pretty good. So quite pleased with that picture. So that's going to stay there, is it? Hopefully. Right, hopefully. Right, okay. So this week I just want to go with you, or show you rather, set of signatures I got from 1830. Not been shown these before because they're quite a rare set. And there was a bit of speculation whether these things were correct or not, but anyway, there they are. Get a close view of those. It's in pencil, 1830, Nottingham. On there is William Clark, Samuel Redgate, two of the famous people on there. So it's meant to be, or it was purported to be, a back of a Bible. And then Woodward, who was emigrated to Canada, Barry in Canada, and the family story that goes right away when he emigrated to Barry, and it's well, I'm quite happy with them, to be fair. I've done quite a bit of research on them. And he turned up on eBay after, and let me get a decent page up for you here, you can see them, a set of Old England signatures. I'm not sure you're going to get a good view of those, but here they are. So there's the Old England team there, with Clark and George Parr on there, all sorts of people on there, Jimmy Dean, lots on there. William Clark is the main thing there. If you can see the William Clark one there, okay, at the top. This set sold for £12,500, by the way. So William Clark there, and the William Clark on my set is more or less the same. Okay, so speculation arose because of a phone call to dear old Peter Wynne Thomas at Nottingham, and he was of the opinion that none of them could probably write in those days, plus signature collecting wasn't popular, but I proved that wrong, because there's a clip in Christie's catalogue that says on the 1860 tour or 62 tour to Australia, the players in that team, the Old England team, queued up to give signatures to waiting collectors. So there obviously was an interest in collecting these autographs. So that sort of failed its test, or passed its test, whichever way you want to do it. So I said to Peter, how would I prove that they were correct, these signatures? He said, well, probably get some birth certificates. So I went and got some birth certificates. And we asked Tim Knight how many you would expect to get right and prove that they were right. And he said, if you get 3, that's fine. So anyway, so we've seen the William Clark. And then on here now is John Kettleband. This is marriage certificate of John Kettleband. And there's John Kettleband's signature. And where's John Kettleband on here? Down the bottom there. Down the bottom. You wouldn't say that was not the same signature. Another one I got was great Samuel Redgate. So here's a marriage certificate of Samuel Redgate up here, which is quite a nice signature. If you go to the Samuel Redgate on my signatures, there's the Samuel Redgate at the top there. Now, you wouldn't say that they weren't. Probably the best way to do it is just do it like that. They weren't the same man, the same signature. So the thing is, if you were going to forge these, why would you go to so much detail in getting a copy of a birth certificate or marriage certificate of the players? It just seems a bit odd to me. So I got a letter reply from Peter. He was a bit shocked actually when I said to him I'd found the marriage certificates of some of them. So ended up quite happy with them all. But Peter wasn't going to verify them, of course, but he says, Dear Andy, I was most kind of you to forward a good reproduction of the Nottingham autograph sheet of 1830. It arrived safely this morning. I enclose a photostat of the Nottingham cricket matches 1771 to 1853, compiled by J.F. Sutton and printed as 1853, which might interest you. Unfortunately, an earlier book of Nottingham scores was published in 1830, but only gives matches to 1829, so does not include the game in which Kerry played. So he was interested in the Kerry signature at the time. So that was my research on them. Now I have had a Fuller Pilch signature in the past, which unfortunately I passed on. I saw 3 Fuller Pilch signatures. One collected by dear old Don Crossley, which was a lovely Fuller Pilch signature, and it was exactly the same as the one I had and the other one I saw. So there are signatures about down there. I know people regard them as possibly not right, but I was quite happy to do so. My Fuller Pilch was on a newspaper of him batting, the famous sketch of him batting. So again, I was quite happy with that. But of course, these things are so rare they don't command much money. But obviously, those England signatures hit the button and went for £15,500 or £12,500, and mine, I bought mine for £1,500. The betting stopped when it was at £1,500 after Peter Wynne Thomas said his piece. But so the research I've done, I'm quite happy with what I've got. So I should be keeping these. There's the back of the Bible if you're interested, but there's the set of signatures again. It's pretty beaten about bit of paper, I've got to say. So I was quite happy with what I had. So let the debate continue. Anyway, that's all for this week, and I'll hopefully you enjoyed this one this week, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.